The journey that culminated into this visit here today was never a child play. This is because we are not players. We are secret investigators, and our modus operandi in unravel certain things that happen in governance of our country is secretly, sophisticatedly, and independently done, even without the knowledge of whoever may have been our target of assessment, to avoid any possible influence on our work. We live in a country where that is built on a faulty constitution, written and imposed upon us by the elites. We live in a country that celebrates mediocrity in place of integrity. We are in a country, even though I am a crown prince with the royal blood in my vein, we are very much aware that gone are the days where people who are morally bankrupt and criminals are excommunicated from our communities. But today, they have become the highest celebrities, even by our royal fathers. Chieftaincy titles are given to criminals who have stolen money from government coffers. That is also very visible in our society today. The purpose for the creation of the National Merit Award, I am talking to you with every due respect to royalty, because I come out from a first-class traditional institution in my state. And I am very much aware, as an anti-corruption crusader, the quantum of chieftaincy titles that are given to either retired and service or serving public officials today are being bought. The reason why the National Merit Award Act of the federal government was established was to honor Nigerians whose mental prowess and productivity, their research and innovations may have contributed to our national development and growth. Today, from our finding, over 80% of the current holders of our National Merit Awards are sophisticated criminals who have stolen this country to stand still and have held us hostage in our quest to develop as a nation and as a people with a common destiny. How much you can steal makes you a National Merit Award title holder, presidentially conferred, even before the advent of 2015 general elections. For your information, this organization is not a group that can be manipulated or influenced by anybody. Highly sophisticated and breeded, well trained. No local government, including yours, we do not have informants. Our informants serve as our strategic instrument of tapping information about who is doing what, where, how, and when. When we have found you wanted, we are therefore very hungry people for criminals to expose. We have exposed a lot. Some have been prosecuted through collaboration with anti-graft agencies. Others are in the process of prosecution. And we shall not rest on our oars unless and until our country is sanitized for the good of generation yet unborn. That is our vow. As I'm talking to you today, before the year 2015 general elections, and before the departure of the former EFCC chairman, Nuhu Ribadu, from the EFCC, the amount of money we have discovered that have been stolen from this country by same Nigerians stood at about $400 billion US. And we went into research. Which part of the world was the most devastated after the Second World War? I'm sorry? I want to be heard clean and clear, so that my eyes will show very well. I'm sorry, let me remove my face mask, our nose mask. The amount of money stolen before the 2015 general election in this country stood at about $400 billion US. We went into research. Which government anywhere in the world must have spent such money, either on war or whatever you may call it? And from our finding, we discovered that the Western Europe was the most devastated after the Second World War in 1945. And according to the United States Marshall Act of 1946, monies were voted by the United States of America for the rebuilding of Western Europe after the Second World War Second World War was far lesser than the over $400 billion that were stolen by criminals in this country. Some of them have become celebrities in Nigeria way. This is a country, a former governor stood in the court of law during the course of his trial and fainted, accepting that a sum of 10 billion naira ecological fund was diverted to fund the second term election of a former president of this country without his consent. The same man who slumped in the course of his trial in a conventional court, who accepted and lamented that he spent 10 billion to fund a presidential election in our country, later became elected distinguished senator of the Federal Republic. Only in our country it is possible. It is in this country. A former governor absconded from the arrest of EFCC, arrested in Dubai, extradited to the United Kingdom for trial of money laundering. While his trial was ongoing in a foreign land, his daughter became an elected member of State Assembly of Delta. He was sentenced to 4 years jail term in the United Kingdom, a former governor, as an ex-convict in foreign land. He returned back to this country. Amount of money that was spent by Delta State government to welcome James Ibori back to our country was 150 million. In a reception, he became a celebrity in our country. So you need to know this, so that you know that what is going on in the country today is not the Nigerians that are doing this. The farmers and herdsmen have been living in Nigeria for years. Some of them become traditional title holders. In my father kingdom, I have a Yoruba, the Oba of Yorubas in my kingdom, members of the council of my local government. I have other tribal men, Igbos and whatever. This is what Nigeria used to be. The people tormenting the crisis in our country today are those who have stolen our money, who have been investigated, or still been or convicted, in the process of being convicted. There are people that our resources was used to give them scholarship to study overseas. Today they are fighting government in different parts of the country today. You are very much aware that this is a country where how much you can steal makes you a celebrity. We live in a country where the federal government was created and its funding is defined. About 54% or thereabout out of the consolidated revenue of the federation is for the federal government alone. That was not so when we once practiced regionalism in our country. Regional governments was very strong, or were very strong. Every of the regions were champions of development, and most of the developmental activities of the regions then are still openly, and they are clearly for everybody to see today. The elite gave us a constitution that gives capacitation to states, to federal, and it comes to the local governments. And it says, the House of Assembly shall make a law on the operations, finances, auditing, and general administration of the local government. And by that insertion, transferring the operationalization of the local government into the whims and caprices of state assemblies. It is the elite who does this, and it is deliberate. The council chairman has no immunity, but the governor has an immunity, the president has an immunity. But local government is a third tier of government. And by this implication, they have been rendered useless. So those of them who have rendered themselves useful to our community and to our nation, We say thank you. That is why we are here today. How far we can go, we have not gone. The vision of our heroes past, the late Zik of Africa, the late Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe and co, Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and co, was that Nigeria by the year 1985 would have become a developed nation in the world. That was the aspiration. And this was what led to the conceptualization of a Jakarta Steel Complex as a tool that will lead our country into an industrialized nation. The Alaja smelting whatever at Sinam and that of what's the name? Wari were all conceptualized. Today, instead of us to be where God wants us to be, we have become a crawling economy today, not because we have offended God, but because a few Nigerians have held us hostage for years. It is on this basis, after the conduct of our sacred independent assessment program to all the local governments in Nigeria, every year for the past 11 years, in our 15 years of coming into being, we have consistently for 11 years holding leaders accountable to Nigerian citizens. We have exposed to corruption and corrupt practices, and we have appreciated those that needed to be appreciated. Mr. Chairman, you don't know us, we don't know you. We have never met you, neither have you ever met us. When we were coming, despite the challenges of yesterday, we say, devil is a liar. An agent have booked flight for us to be in Lagos, even before 10 a.m. yesterday, the last flight. Only for us to come to the airport in Abuja, and they told us it was a misrepresentation. And that was the last flight. And I told my gentlemen, don't worry, we are going now. Coming to Kosofe local government is a must, and we are going to be on our way. Quickly, we have to readjust. You know why? Please, if God do something for you, you don't appreciate. Hello? I used to tell people this anywhere I go. We have trained not less than 10,000 public servants in Nigeria. Amongst them are 4,000 lecturers of our tertiary institutions. This group you are seeing here, practically horizontally across the nation. And we used to tell everybody to hear this. As an organization that have known everything about local government in the country, we are well equipped with a lot of information. When you come to Lagos State, this is a state, and it's local governments. It's a state where you will return back and sit down on your own and begin to talk to yourself. Is this state truly part of Nigerian Federation? You know why? The level of civility here is too sophisticated. The level of, if you think God has not blessed you, hello? If you think and somebody laid that template, are we there? Whether you like it or you don't like it, somebody lay a template that has become sustainable, consolidated today. Please, shall we rise up and give a hand clap for Tinubu? May God bless him. Whether you like it or not, please do it for me. I'm not a politician. May God bless him. May God bless him and may God bless him. You may have your seats. I have done this because in all the 6 southwestern states we have been to, we have discovered that there is a competition between states. Whether the party that is in government or not, these states compete with themselves. All of them are trying to meet up with Lagos State templates of development. And the master planner for that was the person I have mentioned. You can never be called a king, neither will you be called a leader, unless your leadership is measured by the quality and quantum of maintains you have produced. That is what makes your sustainability. It might take a grace of God for any man to reach the peak of leadership in life. You can never be sustainable when you lack character. So we identify with men of character. Thank you for your humility, sir. What made this presentation
mandatory to us is one. In our 10 thematic areas of assessing local government chairmen in the country, one is public accessibility. Are you accessible to your people? Do you attend to community needs? Are you available at that wedding and or marriage or naming ceremonies of your people when you are invited? Are you that person that comes to the social needs of your people? Maybe in the area of providing certain, succor for them when they need you. It could be feeding, it could be anything. That is public accessibility. We assess you in that regard. Do you come to office attendance? We are tired of our time being wasted. A lot of Nigerian time have been wasted in the past, and we have become a crawling nation today because of time wastage. So we are no longer interested in those leaders who waste our time. Do you come to work? Office attendance. And this is part of our measurability in order to establish who has done well or not. Number 3, emotional intelligence. You need some degree of emotional intelligence to be able to coordinate, administer, and manage people. Do you have it? Or you are that chairman? Have you not seen a chairman whose business is slapping his subordinate from his office or telling the truth? We have seen it. Have you not seen a chairman when people are gathered and the truth is about to be said, he walk out on them? We have seen that. Have you not seen a local government chairman who are taking the money of his staff salary and put it in a fixed deposit account? Interest from there is being shared among the management of the council. We have seen that. Hello? So whoever is not involved in this, we have no apology to anybody to say thank you for those persons. Mr. Chairman, we thank you for this. Participatory management. In this criteria, how participatory is your management style? Do you carry along certain persons? I am telling you right now, sir, the heartbeat of democracy is the legislature. Once the heart is broken up, this democracy can never be strengthened. Why is legislature the heartbeat of democracy? 4 cardinal responsibilities that make up a community and state is embedded in the legislature. The lawmaking, conduct of oversight responsibility on other arm of government, control of public funds, and above all, committee oversight where the nucleus of parliamentary work is being done. So you can never succeed as an executive if you have no synergy, a well undiluted and sophisticated synergy with your legislative arm of government. And I think that is also part of what we have considered. Even though you are not meant to forever remain silent with yourself, you are meant to fight, to quarrel, but you must understand that you are 2 arms of government that make the local government flourish. So I want to thank you very much for your little understanding, in working together. Whatever the chairman have achieved today, if you don't give him cooperation and understanding, you can never achieve. That's the truth. Thank you for being an understandable leader of the Legislative Council. And above all, the union leaders here, I am aware, without any iota of reservation, that the unions of this council are very proactive and very full of dexterity and what I call civility. And I want you to please, the essence of unionism is not for confrontation. Hello? Remember, before you become a union leader, you were once a local government chair. You are a staff of the local government. Am I right? Therefore, in the course of negotiating with the local government to get something for your union members, you have to consider the following quadrants. 1, urgent and very important. These are principles of negotiation you must apply. Out of the 5 issues you are taking before the council, which of these issues points are urgent and important? That becomes number 1. Number 2, or number 2, you have gotten it. These 2 matters are urgent and very important. So by fire, by force, we will use every diplomatic means to achieve this too. Number 3, important but not urgent. Hello? It's another principle of negotiation. When you are discussing with management on the table, this point is important but not urgent. Maybe the last 2 is not important but not urgent, hello, but necessary. No, these are your formula you need to adopt. So that in the process of negotiation, you learn compromise. Because there must be compromise for democracy to flourish. But when you stand firm and say, until what we want, the whole 5 is achieved, we will never retreat. You will become an obstacle. Hello? But when you accept others and let others go till next time, you are a progressive labor union person. This is the kind of spirit we want to be promoted here. Consequently, I hereby, on behalf of the Center for Ethics and Value Orientation, make the following declarations before this house. Number 1, for Kosofe local government under the current administration have been found by this center having scored the highest figure in our cumulative assessment criteria is thereby declared the first position overall in Lagos State. I'm going to unveil the score made so far and why it is like that. Number 2, the council chairman, having demonstrated character and conduct that are in tandem with the principle of ethical leadership based on our standard, his attitude and character were here to add value to his future political career or academic career or whatever you may call it. On that basis, we are presenting a certificate of ethical leadership and conduct compliance certificate in his name. The local government as an entity, having taken first position, putting all the variables together, departmentally, staff discipline, they are all part of it all. Putting it together, the council under this administration shall be issued our certificate of credence that belong to this council. Even when chairman is going, he must return it back to the council. It's a property of the council that indicates that under your leadership, this separate investigative organization, highly sophisticated anti-corruption body, whom you do not know, neither do they know you, whom you have not even asked him. He doesn't know the hotel we went to lunch. Are you aware? Ask him. When I was taking my sahur, that is catching my fast in the vehicle. Hello? We make sure we don't want to have any physical interaction with our recipient before we meet them. Are we there? He don't even know what we eat. Neither did he know where we are lodged at the moment. But we are your guests. Potential one for that matter. Throughout the night, a sacrifice, that's enough. To be here, so thank you. Please, between you and your God, back of everyone seated here are angels, taking record of your good and bad deeds. We have come here to appreciate you, so that you may be spurred to do more. Please, your people love you a lot. Your recommendation in our questionnaire, which 1,000 was distributed from local government in the state here, we have about 11 local governments that have your name reflected there because of your attitude. It is one of the criteria that made you to emerge. Simplicity in leadership. Simplicity and civility in leadership. Please sustain it. In addition to this, Mr. Council Manager, is he around? I didn't even know it. Sorry, I was able to think. Sir, well done, sir. Please, thank you for being a very sophisticated bureaucrat. We have not just established fact about you here, we have traced your antecedents. All your promotions where you have worked in this state, we know. And the same testimonies are the same. Thank you very much for supporting this chairman bureaucratically to succeed. The council secretary, sir, thank you for your civility. We are honoring you today. One of the council treasurer, is there another? And if you were not here today, you know why he's been here is key to us. Chairmen don't know how to steal. Neither do ministers. You are hearing our governors know how to steal. People who teach them how to steal. Now them be that. Can them be this? Hello? But thank you for refusing to teach him to steal the local government money. Thank you very much. It's okay. Thank you very much. In summary, we are proud of you. We come all the way to appreciate you. What we have come to do today is in tandem. I am a Muslim and also just a Muslim. I am an aggressive comparative religious researcher. Both Christianity, Islam, and paganism. It's part of my work, research work. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in one of his hadiths, and I quote, he says, "Men lem yashkur nas, lem yashkur Allah." Meaning, he that do not appreciate people, do not appreciate God. That is one. The Bible also made us to understand, and that when God created man, He made them the likeness of God. Is that not true? Now, if man is created in God's image, God is good. It means man in leadership position is expected by fire, by force to be good. But when you are not good and you become morally bankrupt, you are not to be called of God's image, because God is not bad. Biblically, we go there. And again, in conclusion, I want to appeal to every one of us here that please, the office you find today is temporal. Very soon, you will not be there. It could be sooner, it could be soonest, it could be later, but you must not be there forever and ever. Now, if you have worked in a place for 10 years and people have not spoken good about you, you have commenced a journey to hellfire. May God forbid. When you are leaving this local government out, what shall the people say after your departure? It should matter to you a lot. So be a man of character, a man of character, a man of character in the place where you work. This is our advice for you. Shall we all rise to honor a man whose honor has been long overdue?
Now to the citation of the chairman, of the executive chairman of this local government. Sir, permit me to call on admin and HR of this local government, Mrs. Odubeko Juliana Taiwo, to come and read the citation, while the audience and the executive chairman to stand and remain standing for the program. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the executive of this local government, Honorable Babatunde Afolabi Sofola. Executive Chairman, Honorable Afolabi Babatunde Sofola. Afolabi Babatunde Sofola was born in April 28, 1960 into the illustrious family of late Chief Kehinde Sofola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, CON, the former Minister of Justice and Attorney General in the Second Republic in Nigeria. Honorable Afolabi Sofola hails from the Kenneth, Ogun State. He began his education at St. Saviour's School, Railway Compound, Kosofe, Lagos. He later went on to attend International School, University of Ibadan, where he obtained his West African School Certificate. He proceeded to Norwich City College of Higher Education, United Kingdom, where he obtained his A-level. In 1992, he graduated from the Lagos State University with a bachelor's degree in political science. He later obtained his master's degree in international law and diplomacy from the University of Lagos, Akoka. Honorable Sofola started his professional career in his father's chamber, then in Sofola and Co. as an administrative manager. He later worked in Equity Bank of Nigeria and resigned as senior bank executive. Honorable Sofola went back to Babatunde Confers Nigeria Limited, a company he founded in 1988 to provide a wide range of business services. Honorable Sofola began his political career in 2006 as Ward D. Anthony Chairman of the defunct National Congress of Nigeria for a period of 4 years. He was also appointed by former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a board member of the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, called CESVO, for a period of 5 years. In 2011, Honorable Sofola's term as CESVO was renewed for another 5 years by the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde, senior advocate of Nigeria. However, 2 months into his second term in CESVO, Honorable Sofola resigned to contest for the post of executive chairman of Kosofe local government, which he won in November 2011. In 2017, Honorable Sofola recontested for the post of executive chairman of Kosofe local government and won the election for another term. Honorable Sofola is a member of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. He was the pioneer president of the Monday, a socio-cultural organization. He is also the worker secretary of NASCA and a member of IVF Club. He enjoys space sports and traveling. Honorable Sofola has received many awards from notable public and private organizations for his meritorious services to humanity. These awards are Award of Excellence by Association of Primary School Teachers of Nigeria, Excellence Performance Award by National Association of Nigeria Students, Meritorious Award by Nigeria Association of Hairdressers, Barbers, Cosmetology, Merit Award by Patriotic Christian Leaders Forum, Award of Excellence by Lagos State Ministry of Health, the most outstanding local government chairman on air, chairman of air in Lagos State by Afolabi Media Initiative, then Award of Excellence and Honor by Sir Raphael and Angel Patricio. Honorable Afolabi Babatunde Sofola is happily married to children.
I am now giving all the audacity to add value to a man who has added much value to his community. Democrat by nature, a socialist by conviction, a philanthropist to the core, and above all, a man with hereby defined a Solomon of wisdom. Simply, before his investiture, made known to this gathering that the honor about to be bestowed on you today has been won and conferred on the following personalities in our country and beyond. Among them are His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyemi, the Alaafin of Oyo Kingdom. The honor will be given to you today has also been conferred on former Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Potum Idris. We have the life of His Eminence, His Excellency, the Third Commonwealth Secretary General, Chief Emeka Yakubu, has been conferred on this. The most honored African citizen, which is of Nigerian extraction, honored by 120 presidents of nations of the world, is Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, is in our Hall of Fame. We have the life of the immediate past national women leader of the All Progressive Congress, Ajia Fatima Eluma, also in our Hall of Fame. The Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, is in our Hall of Fame. And these are, to mention a few, these are people that have been found worthy and honored by this center, vertically, horizontally across the country, and even beyond. Today, I hereby present to you, first of all, this gold medal is won by you, having scored above 70% by our assessment rating. For sure, Fair Local Government Council scored a cumulative score of 79%, the highest in Lagos State. This on this note, declaring you a gold medalist. I please bring you into our hall of fame as His Excellency, Ambassador of Ethics and Man of Conscience. With this inauguration today, you are henceforth permitted to include our honorific title in your name as IION, meaning Integrity Icon of Nigeria. This Kosofe Local Government Council is hereby issued certificate of credence as an entity having taken first position over all the data. It is my honor to formally present to you this ethical conduct and leadership compliance certificate, which is a certificate of character and conduct we give to leaders who are found to be less corrupt in their leadership style. Here is certificate of character. May God be your strength. You are hereby automatically elevated to our class A of those we call the least corrupt public officials in our country, with a letter of authority that permits you and gives you the audacity to include our title of IION in your name. Again, present to you as a benefit that comes with this award. 100 staff of this council shall be trained by the center for 2 days on expected ethical conduct and leadership in the workplace. The center shall take responsibility for 70% of the liability of the training, and the local government takes 30%. We hereby present the details to you, topics, and your role and our role is specified here. For the 30th of June, where we shall come here to train 100 staff for you as benefits in their work.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.